Limited Run Games press conference for E3 2018, broadcasting live from the Limited Run Auditorium in Apex, North Carolina.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Josh Fairhurst, the co-founder and CEO of Limited Run Game.
And I'm Douglas Bogart, co-founder and COO. Get hyped, everybody!
Get hyped, everybody. First off, I'd like to start by thanking everyone who came out to attend today. When we started out, we never thought we'd be filling up auditoriums with people excited for our releases. And of course, thank you to everyone online who's watching. Before we get to the section of the show where we announce upcoming releases and other shocking reveals, I'd like to talk a little bit about what we do for those in the audience that don't already know what we do. After that, I want to take a look to the past at what's been accomplished since we got started back in the fall of 2015. Limited Run Games is a publisher that releases small single-issue print runs, typically in the 2,000 to 10,000 copy range, of previously released digital-only titles, but we make those physical. We do this because one day, all of these digital games will be removed from the servers they currently reside on. These games deserve physical preservation, and you, the players, deserve permanent ownership. To date, we've produced over 160 physical game releases. We started out with standard edition Vita and PlayStation 4 packages, but we gradually added collector's editions, vinyl soundtracks, PC games, and other types of goodies to our lineup. This year, we've added another new platform to our regular schedule, the Nintendo Switch. Starting out with Terrible Toy Box's fantastic adventure game, Thimbleweed Park.
Now that the company-related backstory is done, let's get the show started with our first of many highly requested games. You may have noticed our drive to the stage at the start of the show, but in this Nintendo Switch exclusive, you'll be doing an entirely different kind of drive.
Hope you're all looking forward to Golf Story. This next game was in the works for years and years before it finally graced the digital storefronts earlier this year. Luckily, you won't have to wait that long to get a copy of it in your hands. Let's take a look at developer Joachim Sandberg's debut release on PS4 and Vita.
with Emily Zielinski.
Next up, we have our two spine-tingly-dingly horror games from Polish developer Bloober Team. The first one will be launching on PS4, the second on Switch, both releasing during our Spooky Games month in October.
Lazarski, you there?
Dispatch, I got an emergency here. Can anyone hear me? The year is 2084. If they told me what the world would become, I would not have believed them. KPD? Anyone in there? I am what they fear. A corporate tool of oppression. If you don't remember, if you won't remember, that's when they call me. To access you. To gather evidence. To dredge up whatever's hiding in the darkest corners of your mind. My name is Daniel Lazarski. I'm an observer.
This house is absolutely amazing. How about that smile? All right. The undercoat should be dry by now. It's time to get to work. Hello? Yes, speaking. Ugly. Ugly? You ordered a true portrait, so that's what I painted. The clock struck 1. The horror ran down.
Introducing to the stage, Brian Gay.
Really gives you the heebie-jeebies, doesn't it? We've got even more Switch games from different genres coming down the pipe. This ultraviolet rhythm game just takes coming down the pipe a bit more literally.
This one for a very long time, and I'm sure many of you out there have as well. This will be our first localization project, and we'll be bringing it to PS4 and Vita. It brings me great joy to finally announce this, and I hope you're just as excited as me.
só chegar a esta casa. Você odia luz que não gostei. Sinto para como eterno sei qual figura
Reintroducing to the stage, Douglas Bowman.
This next set of games is for a group of fans who made us into what we are today. We chose Breach and Clear, our only Vita console exclusive, as our pilot release, partially because of the nature of the Vita fan base. Vita fans are true diehards and the most loyal bunch out there. To help me announce this batch of games we're putting out only on the Vita, I'd like to summon to the stage the device that made this possible. First up, this pair of Cyberpunk games is from the same universe. Let's check it out.
Neo San Francisco, 2064 AD. The world is on the cusp of a new form of intelligence, and only you are capable of uncovering the truth behind it all. Turing, the world's first sapient machine. Jess Mees, a hybrid's rights lawyer with a chip on her shoulder. Lexi Rivers, longtime friend and disenfranchised NSFPD detective. Tomcat, an ace hacker with a mysterious past. Your investigation takes you down the mean streets of Neo San Francisco. Who do you believe? Who can you trust? Crisscrossing this cyberpunk underworld leads you to the biggest secret of them all. Read-only memories, a new cyberpunk adventure.
show off one last Vita exclusive, bouncing its way into our lineup this year. If there are any children in the audience, time to cover your face, but peek through your fingers. Let's see what's on the menu.
Reintroducing to the stage, Josh Fairhurst.
That's enough for the Vita right now. Let's look at what else is coming up on the Switch. And now, to begin the Switchual. Nintendo Switch, I'm about to make a very special announcement. This next game we're about to show you is available right now for pre-order on our website, www.limitedrungames.com. Don't stop watching. We've got plenty more to show. Just go ahead and open up the second tab on your monitor that you currently have dedicated to live E3 hot takes from your favorite thinkfluencers and content mavens, and go check it out. Now, without further ado, Oceanhorn, ladies and gentlemen, available right now on our e-commerce website, limitedrungames.com. Now, it's important to note that this release was published by our friends at FDG Games. It is not part of the Limited Run Games collection, but we've assisted in releasing this game as a distributor. So this game will be available as an open pre-order for the next month. The first 5,000 copies that sell will be ready to ship in the next 2 weeks. And any copies sold beyond that will be manufactured to demand, and that will be the entire run. So if you want a copy of Oceanhorn for the Nintendo Switch to add to your physical collection, go ahead and get one now.
Welcome to the stage, Justin Okeke.
The next two Switch announcements we have to make are ones that have, in part, been cooked up in our own in-house development studio. Occasionally, we'll get our hands dirty and port other developers' games to platforms when they don't have the resources to do so themselves. Here's one many of you may be familiar with, now revealed on Switch for the first time.
today we are going to be revealing its release date. Let me welcome to the stage Limited Run CFO, Ben Moore. Ben has been a great help in keeping our finances in order and looking for investment opportunities. Today, he'll be helping us announce the release date.
Hey man, anything I can do to help.
Awesome. Now stand right there, and let's get this started.
Right here?
Perfect. Now stand still. Oldest trick in the book. If you haven't already guessed it, it's time to announce the digital and physical release dates for Night Trap 25th Anniversary Edition on Switch. From Screaming Villains, the digital release will be live on the eShop soon, and our physical release will be up for sale in July. Moving on from our internal porting efforts, let's look at another Switch game from our partners at Playtonic.
Rated E10 for ages 10 and up.
Shredding onto the stage, it's Pete Biles.
This next release is one we've wanted to do since day one of Limited Run Games. This modern classic is a masterpiece in its own right, and since its initial incarnation released in 2008, has inspired countless other games due to its challenge and timeless mechanics. Chances are, this game will only ever be topped by its upcoming sequel. You're going to want to hold on to your seats and make sure you don't get lost now because the walls are shifting.
Impossible, I thought, as I peered through the brush. Buried under the earth was a forest so lush, filled with flora and fauna and pits large and small. If not for my chute, I'd have died from a fall. Dodging frogs, I descended, the jungle grew dark. I found a lit torch, but it soon lost its spark. Surrounded by darkness, resigned to my fate, my very last bomb revealed an escape. I emerged in a market filled with grumpy old men, hawking wares of all kinds in their clandestine den. One had a wrapped box and I couldn't resist. In my hurried excitement, I opened the gift. Next thing I knew, they were shooting at me. Make sure to pay first when you play Spelunky.
Welcome onto the stage, Sarah Elliott.
We've got just a few more games to show you today. Created by developers Magnetic Realms and Xseed, we have an old-school action-adventure game inspired by Commodore 64 and Amiga platformers from the early 90s.
last minute for E3, we have another Japanese title for PlayStation 4 and Vita. This game was heavily inspired by tribute game Scott Pilgrim game. Hope you enjoy it. This game got announced at E3 last year, and it's my pleasure to finally give it a release date. I hope everyone stops being salty on my Twitter mentions after this, so I can have my social media sanctuary back.
remember the glory days of the Xbox Live Arcade on Xbox 360, it felt like there was a fresh new indie game being released on the platform every other week. This game was one of my personal favorites from the era, and it brings me a lot of satisfaction to announce that it's coming to the Nintendo Switch, and it will get a physical release from none other than Limited Run Games. Like Iconoclast, which was announced earlier, this game is also largely the product of a single developer's labor of love. Please take a look.
This realm has fallen to fade. We dare not even ask for a hero, for no creature should suffer so to mend this broken land. He leads the greatest army our world has ever known, spilling innocent blood. Even now, I sense their footsteps as they march ever closer.
There is a legend, the oldest of Elysian tales. It speaks of a warrior who wields that very blade. You, Dust, will turn the tide.
Well, no pressure or anything.
Be tested, Dust. An army of thousands stands before us, and they've never been defeated. Well, let's not keep them waiting.
Don't you remember your duty? Don't you remember your friends?
I remember everything. And it changes nothing! You did not know? You possess a rare gift. Never have I seen it before.
And now, to close out our ceremonies, let's welcome back one more time, Josh and Douglas.
Thank you to everyone for coming out. And don't forget, we'll be doing a live Q&A session on this stream in just a few minutes. Please enjoy the rest of your E3. And don't forget that Ubisoft's press conference begins at the top of the hour if you'd like to catch up with our boy Yves Guillemot and his gang to see what they've been up to. You may even catch a look at Ubisoft Dreamboat Patrice Desolé. But before we leave, we're going to show you just one more thing.
Hey. Hi. My name is Eddie. I need your help.